You know, I just tested positive. G-A-M-E.
That's right, everyone. This is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. We have to do everything exactly the same as we did last week. Why? Because we're not superstitious.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
We have to channel our inner Parcelliisms. Bill Parcells was, of course, a very superstitious person. So we need to channel that right now here at Online Big Blue. We need to make sure that we're doing exactly everything that we've done the same for the last 2 weeks. I've said it before. I've had this cold now for a week now, and I've been prolonging it till today because of the fact that we won when I had the cold. So I got to keep this cold. I got to keep it. I've been incubating it, so I just have to keep it because you know what? We got the vaunted Dallas Cowboys coming in tonight for Monday Night Football. What do the Giants have in store tonight? What's the game plan? What's the philosophy? Daniel Jones is 0-8 in primetime games. That's kind of bad. that's not good. 0-8. 0-8. That's not a good way to start your career. So you know what? The odds, if you were a betting man and someone was 0-8, would be in the benefit of the person who has the O. So you know, because you cannot consistently go through and play so poorly on Monday night or Tuesday night or Thursday night or whatever primetime game it is without finding a win. We've said it before, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn. So can we get this win? Can we get up against the Dallas Cowboys? Can we move forward? Can we take a look at everything that we can possibly do to win this game? We have Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau making their season debut. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be interesting. We're gonna pull. I'm actually, as I'm vamping for a second, as I'm going to pull up the final injury report, which we actually have gone through the injury. We've gone through the injury report already. We already know who's out for this game. We already know who is going to be in. So right now we have Kayvon Thibodeau, questionable. We have Azeez Ojulari, questionable. Both have said on their Twitter page that they are playing. Leonard Williams and Kadarius Toney are both doubtful. That means they're out because you know what? It's always probable, questionable, doubtful, out. So doubtful usually means you are not playing what's tomorrow. You got Justin Lane, Nick McLeod, Aaron Robinson, and Wan'Dale Robinson, both out, or all four out. That's four out. And also right now we have Michael Gallup is questionable with the knee, which means he's going to play. You got Parsons who's questionable with the illness. You got Schulte who is questionable. You got Kurtz, their safety, who was out. You got McGovern with the ankle who was out. And you got Dak, of course, who was out as well. So you know what? If I was a betting man and I'm looking at this 8:15 kickoff and I'm looking at the Giants and I'm looking at the Cowboys and I'm looking at the offenses, I'm looking at the defenses, I'm looking at all the components and all the parts, you have to just think for a second that the Dallas Cowboy defense is not horrid. It's not bad. The good news about the Giants is they have run into defenses which I would probably refer to as average at best. And that's fantastic because that's kind of what you want. You want to run into an average defense. And I think right now, I think the Cowboys maybe slightly, if Parsons is at 100%, I would say they are slightly above average. Slightly above average. If he's at 100%. And that's good. That is going to be the key, I think, for the Dallas Cowboys. Can they get pressure on Daniel Jones? Can they find a way to get to the quarterback? Can they bottle up Saquon Barkley? Because you know the offense is going to flow like water through the reeds and the vines through Saquon Barkley. You know that's going to happen. Richie James cannot continue to lead this team in passing. I'm sorry. Richie James is a fourth wide receiver at best. So we need to get Darius Slayton. We need to get Kenny G. Honestly, we needed to get Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson some snaps as well. So you're going to be relying heavily on a dose of Barkley. So that's what you have to focus on. Now the Cowboys defense has led up 246 yards in the last two games. So they have given up 246 yards the last two games. So if you divide that, so if you take 246 and you divide it by 2, that means they are giving up over 123 yards rushing a game. And I think that is going to be a major component because, like I said, if they can't stop the run, you know, the Giants are in good shape. Now, my problem is I think what they're going to do is they're going to put 7-8 in the box, and they're going to try to shut down the run. And I think now that we've gone into getting into week 3, I think what's going to happen is teams have more and more film now on the Giants offense. They're going to figure out you stack the box, you stop the run game, you make Daniel Jones beat you. So the question is going to be, can Daniel Jones beat the Dallas Cowboys? And I think in some ways, like I said, to me, it's going to be Daniel Jones versus the Dallas Cowboys. So can he lead the team down? He's going to have more than one prolonged drive. Right now, Daniel Jones is barely averaging one prolonged 7-minute drive, 8-minute drive in the entire game. I'll take a 5-minute drive. We're going to have to play. I think we're going to have to play the clock. Because while the Cowboys have Cooper Rush, and I'm not 100% fearful of Cooper Rush, I am more fearful of the fact that you got Elliott and Pollard, that you still have CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb out of the college. I actually did a video, and you can go back and watch it. I did a video before the draft saying that was one of the players that I really wanted the Giants to go after. And if you have Gallup in the game, and Schultz looks like he's going to play, it's going to be interesting to see how this rush and the line for the Cowboys right now has been leaking a little bit. There are some cracks in the facade. There are some cracks in the stucco. So with the return of Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari both making their season debuts, like I said, I would put them both on a pitch count. I've said this a million times before because you know what? They're coming back from injuries. They've been out for almost 4 weeks. You got to work them kind of into the system slowly. If you have 60 defensive snaps, maybe I'd put them in for half, maybe even less than that. I'd put them in definite passing down situations to create that rush, to create that mismatch, to generate some pressure on Cooper Rush and hope he makes the big mistake. Because you're not looking at a vaunted quarterback. The good news about the Giants 2-0 start right now is we have run into teams with issues each week. And that's fine because you can only beat the teams that you play. And I was laughing because I was listening to the NFL Network when I was driving to the dealer today, and Charlie Weiss was on, and Charlie Weiss even said what I've been saying. All you see in the win-loss column is 2-0. You don't see 2-0, but 2 ugly wins. You don't see that. All you see is the Giants are 2-0. So can the Giants ugly win it and be 3-0? Is there a possibility that they can do that? Of course there is. But the question is there's going to be some questions because, like I said, we have not faced a wide receiver like Lamb. I like DJ Moore. He had a couple, he's got 1,000-yard seasons in a row. I liked him more, but CeeDee Lamb is an explosive wide receiver. You got the kid Turbin, came out of the USFL for the Generals. He is a big kick return guy as well. He's very explosive. Gallup plays, he's explosive. You got Pollard out of the backfield. Has also been running the ball hard. Same with Ezekiel Elliott. So the Giants are going to have to contain the run and in some ways, hopefully force the Cowboys to pass. But then we have to hope that our past events is up to snuff. I hope Fabian Monroe starts over. I just hope Fabian Monroe starts. I'm not gonna get on to pick names, but you know what? It's just we need some. Like I said, last week was just bad. Last week the cornerback play at Cordell Flott was just bad. So you have to hope Fabian Monroe starts. You have to hope maybe they slide over some safety help onto that side. But at the end of the day, you have to look at this from the totality. I personally think the Giants, if they can play keep away, if they can manage the clock, if the defense can create pressure and get to Cooper Rush and don't get into a shootout, this is a very winnable game for the Giants. They are playing a backup quarterback. You're going to be at home with hopefully a pumped up crowd. I'll be there. I'll also be on the field for the Ring of Honor ceremony. I love it though. I was talking to James Williams about this. As a season ticket holder, they sent out an email saying, "Hey, would you like to be on the field for the Ring of Honor ceremony or the Giants Ring of Honor?" And I was like, "Sure." So I hit reply and hit send, and then I got my reservation to do it to help it, and then I started reading the email. You have to be able to jog on and off on the field. You have to be able to lift things. You have to be able to lift up to 20 pounds. And I was thinking to myself, the Giants weren't looking for us to be on the field. They're looking for free labor. And I'm just joking. I'm actually very excited. I'm very pumped to have that honor to do this. So I'm extremely excited about that. But I think everyone wants to know, what's my score prediction? What are we going to look at here? I got to look at this from a perspective of, can the Giants emulate and duplicate what's going on these last couple weeks? And you know what? It's hard to say they're not going to. It's hard to say that this is going to be a game they can't win, because this is their first divisional test. You figure Washington right now is a mess. You figure the Cowboys, until they get Dak back, is a question mark. The only team right now that's flowing is going to be the Eagles. So you have to think, if the Giants can capture this game, go 3-0, and take it and be 1-0 in the division, you might start getting, you might get some things that are interesting, because you got the Bears next week. And the Bears, their defense looks good, but their offense looks suspect. They're kind of like the Giants. So you could potentially go 4-0. And I love people who are like, well, you said 3 to 5 games. You would be wrong. Yeah, I'm glad I would be wrong. And I love it, because then we also had some idiot in the comment section go, well, you know what I hate about these people that are realists? They say these things, and then if they're wrong, they'll say they're glad that I'm wrong. Yeah. And then I admit I'm wrong. This is why some morons are not allowed to watch this channel. That's what happens when you get back in the gym. I'm spending way too much time in the gym. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't see the Giants having an explosion on offense, but I see the defense stepping up. I see them limiting Cooper Rush. I see the offense doing enough for Saquon Barkley to flow like water through the reeds of the defense. And I'm going to go Giants 17, Cowboys 14. And that's right. I'm predicting the Giants to go 3-0. I'll be at the Bears game with Big El Gigante. He'll be hanging out with me. And I got a couple more games that I'm going to be giving away. Not giving away, but we're going to be doing, like, I don't know, if you are a subscriber and there's a game you want to go to, shoot me an email at tim@onlineBigBlue.com. I'm taking subscribers for at least one subscriber a week using my season tickets. So Big L's turn this week. We had James Williams last week. And like I said, if you're in the area and you want to jump in and there's a game and I don't have that ticket already full, just send me an email, tim@onlineBigBlue just send it tim@onlineBigBlue.com. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best about New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, subscribe, if you're ringing that bell, you think I know what that means, that'd be awesome.
Autobots, roll out.